Hello, friends. Welcome to Akulmach. And today we have a very interesting subject to discuss, and that is about the adaptability in future of works. And what does it mean? Future of works. Future of work actually means that how you are going to realign yourself, your effort, your organization to ensure that your organization follows the latest trend, and therefore the future of work is very very important. Before we start today's session, I would like to inform you that we are live, and we have all lines open. You can join this discussion with your camera and mic. The process of joining the discussion is given in the description below. So please join if you're interested. Your face, your voice will be appearing, and you can talk to me directly face to face, and it's going to be a debate. So don't miss out on this. The process of joining discussion is given below, and anybody can join with camera and mic. All right, so let's proceed further. I'd like to welcome you. My name is Chandrakant, and let's begin the discussion today, and that is the adapting the future of works. So why it is so important? You see, lots have changed. The way we perceive the business world has changed quite a bit, and every day new strategies needs to be evolved, and new technology is coming, new ways of doing business are coming. Therefore the landscape of how we conduct ourselves is changing very rapidly. That is why we are having this discussion about adaptability. How do you adapt? Therefore, the first point that we must consider is the rise of remote work. Believe it or not, even companies are asking that, hey, why did you come to the physical office? People are reluctant. They don't want to basically get into the work area which is not comfortable for them, because having tasted the work from home scenario, more and more people are spending their time and effort and money to set up their home office in a true sense, because home office has been around for quite some time. Home office is basically there for last 20 years, but because of the pandemic we started seeing that people have actually started experiencing the home office work environment. Initially people were working from their bedrooms, but now they have specialized place, sort of a remote office which is very powerful, which can do many things, and you can pretty much do any kind of communication from anywhere in the world with anyone. And now with the emergence of AI, a lot of things are changing also in terms of communication, where there are some software which are under development, and these plugins will be available for you to basically do on the fly voice conversions and also translation. So this kind of power will give you ability to talk to anyone in the world in different languages. Like for example, you talk in your native language, but the other person need not know English or your native language, and they will hear your conversation in their native language. They can respond, and then you will hear in your native language. So the interpretation or interpret of languages are being done online using AI, and that will solve a lot of the problem. Because if you want to do business, for instance, in China, then you must know Chinese, and Chinese is one of the most difficult languages to learn. Therefore, if this kind of facility is available, you talk in English or you talk in your native language, the other person will actually listen to you in Chinese, respond to you in Chinese, but you listen in your native language. Amazing functionality which is being developed as we go forward, and very soon this will be added into your Zoom call or Gmeet calls, and any other calling mechanism which will be there. So a lot of these changes are happening which are going to support the remote work. More and more advancements will come, and therefore remote work will be very very practical methodologies when we actually look at the how we actually conduct our business. So therefore, first thing is we must recognize that the era of remote work has already begun. More and more functionality softwares are available to support the remote work. All right, so having made this point that remote work is out here to stay, people are not willing to spend 2 hours in traffic and then spend very limited productive time at work in their brick and mortar offices. However, if they are working from home, they can save their time, they can spend quality time with their family, they can also be more productive in less number of working hours. So I think more and more people are switching to remote work. So that is one area that we must recognize, even though we don't we say that okay, you are not productive if you're not coming to office, but that is not going to be the future. The future is more and more people will like to work from remote location, especially from their home locations, and they will like to work anywhere in the world. It's not only your city. You would like to basically win contract from other countries, other states, and also from your own location. Even if you are present in your location, people don't want to go to seminars. They will rather go to webinar from their comfort of their home rather than going to webinar and effectively achieving very little. All right, so this is something which is happening today. So therefore we must recognize and adapt, understand that remote work is out here, it is going to stay, and we must understand this is one of the change in the way we do business. All right, what is the next one? Next one is the hybrid working model. Hybrid is essentially means that there is remote work, but then once in a while you must meet physically just to break the ice. So this is initially started by the large companies, where they said, okay, now you work from home, we will give you the bandwidth, we will give you the internet connection, which will, you can use it for our work. However, once in a while you must visit the office. Now the norm so far has been once a month or twice a month, and usually when you visit your office, then no work is done on that day. I mean, that's what people have experienced, because you are working from your small office, home office environment. The bandwidth is paid by the employer company. However, when you meet face to face, you don't want to work. You want to get to know your comrades. You want to have a cup of coffee with them because now you're meeting after a month. So that is the norm here. However hard we try, we say that 1 week you work from home, 1 week you work from office. Again, this is not going to cut the ice. So hybrid work models are also changing, and it's not really hybrid. It's basically meeting once in a while. You meet your comrades, your colleagues once in a while, get to know each other, maybe have a get together, but then your actual work is done from your home office. So I think this is also changing. Hybrid work model was promoted by large organizations because they started seeing that people are not turning up, and the management wanted to stick to the old ways of doing things. So how do you attract people to come back to work? Some companies says that you will do your salary reduction if you don't turn up to work. Other people followed certain mechanism which is much more friendly. They said, okay, why did you come once in a month as a norm? And then there are several advantages also. If the people are working from home, then the companies don't have to invest in huge physical facilities, so they can downsize their physical facilities, because now the physical facilities will be used only for get together, etc., etc. So a lot of these things are coming up, and therefore the hybrid work model, the way we do it today, will not be like that in the near future. It will change drastically. So moving forward, what is the next thing that we have to adapt to? And that is the digital transformation. So more and more organizations are now getting onto the bandwagon of digital transformation. And what is the meaning of digital transformation? Digital transformation is actually means that more and more IT related applications will replace the humans. So when we say digital transformation, let's not get alarmed. lot of mundane work is getting transitioned to the software AI bots. And when we say the software AI bots, some repetitive tasks are being taken over by the AI. For example, interacting with customers and answering their usual questions. So you can actually automate the usual questions that you have, and these usual questions can be handled by AI very well without bringing a human in the picture. You bring the human in the picture when the query is quite complex. So when the query is complex, then only you bring the people. So what is that you are achieving as an organization is you're downsizing your call center activity. Similarly, there are a lot of other areas which can use AI. For example, building a smart dashboard for the top management. So when you're building a smart dashboard, the AI is very good in that, data mining, etc. And these dashboards will be automatically available. Now, today this work is done by data scientists, but then this will be taken over by the AI bots. So like that, there are several areas. How do you interact with the customer? How do you find customers? How do you do lead generation? There are several areas which will be transitioned to AI bots, and that is the part of the digital transformation. So when people say digital transformation, it doesn't mean that the people will basically continue this way it is while the digital transformation is happening. The moment company embark on the journey of digital transformation, there are always reduction in manforce, or therefore there will be new skills required, which will then propel people to develop new skills. Therefore, digital transformation is not working in isolation. It is actually moving ahead and making sure that there are people who are actually getting into more and more new skills. So we'll talk about new skills now. Upskilling and reskilling. So there is a requirement for upskilling and reskilling because when people are getting exposed to digital transformation, when more and more companies are doing digital transformation, they are bringing a lot of AI bots, and therefore the side effect is that people will lose their jobs. I mean, especially the mundane activities. So when people are involved in mundane activities, those jobs will be taken over by AI. However, there is an opportunity for people to upskill and reskill. So what are the new skills which are required? For example, the new skills are required that are in the area of how do you control the AI? So while AI is handling it, but then AI needs to be programmed properly. So there has to be a prompt engineer who will be able to create very complex prompts and allowing AI to basically learn new things and stuff like that. So there will be a skill required for prompt engineering. At the same time, the person, what kind of person will be the best prompt engineer, and therefore the upskilling will be required. And the best part is that you don't need to have certain qualification, because the things are moving so rapidly. Prompt engineering will be available for all walks of life. You don't have to be an engineer. If you are very logical in your thinking, you will be able to control AI, and you will be able to find you have reskilled yourself. Now you were working in a call center, but now you have reskilled yourself. Now you're working as a prompt engineer. So like that, you will be able to find new skills which are for the future. The mundane activities will keep going back onto the AI and freeing up humans to develop new skills. So in this area, if you don't upskill, obviously you will become obsolete. So humans will have to do something much better and smarter as compared to what AI is able to do. Therefore, when people say, I'm going to lose my job, actually it is going to free up your time. It will propel you to think logically, and it will also help you make decisions which will help you find new skills, new pastures, new areas, and that will make you relevant. So the topic of discussion is that how do we adapt? I think this is the most important item, where you start upskilling and reskilling your things and whatever activities you do. Now I would like to make one point here, is that if you are a professional, then your job will never be taken by AI. For example, if you're a doctor, you are a chartered accountant, you are healthcare worker like a nurse, uh, there will be no AI which will be able to replace you. So make sure that you understand this fact very well. And if you are a professional, then you don't have to worry. But if you are handling some mundane job, then obviously you need to upskill and reskill. So all right, so this is something that we must understand and look at the future of works. All right, what is the next item? Next item is the well-being and mental health. As we are progressing since 2020, we have seen that this is one area which is on the personal side of workforce, but it is affecting big time. It is affecting everyone big time. People are now falling victim of stress related activities, because earlier they were actually mingling with other people. So I think the way to reduce this is to have more conversations. If you are doing the work from your remote location, from your home or small office, then you must keep yourself busy in communication with others, and that will reduce your mental health related issues, because that is affecting a lot of people. Because suddenly the pandemic happened and you were confined to home. That change happened very rapidly. It was not gradual, and because of that some people face a lot of challenges. But now in the year 2024, we are already well versed with the remote location, remote work environment. Therefore now we can plan our day. We can plan what conversation we must have. We must plan what are the opportunities that I have to handle every day. And therefore this is one area which will be a big item, big ticket item, which will affect the workforce of the future. Therefore mental well-being of not only yourself but also your other colleagues. So if you are in communication with other colleagues regularly, don't shy from communicating with them. Make sure that you are communicating, because humans are social animals. We need communication, whether we are doing physically traveling, spending 2 hours on the road and then meeting for a cup of coffee, or we are doing it remotely through our video call sessions. We must communicate. That will reduce this mental health issue that people have experienced. Because don't be shy, it's basically all communication based. Certain people will then immerse themselves into some sort of work scenario where they will like to make sure, like for example, if you are an artist, you will like to use some sort of AI as a collaboration, and then they will actually start getting more and more activities where people like to basically utilize their time in doing something creative. So that is why communication will actually help reduce the mental health issues, which is going to be a big ticket item. It's no longer the diseases like cancer or anything like that, because if you are working from home, the chances are you will not get the infectious diseases very quickly, because you're not traveling, you're working. But then what if you're not traveling, then what happens to the experience that you might get? Therefore communication is the most important item that you must consider. All right, and as I said, friends, you can join this discussion live with your camera and mic. Your photo and your video will appear. You can talk to me face to face. All right, how do you join is given in the description below. Moving forward, what is the next item? Inclusive workplace. So you have an opportunity to create an inclusive workplace. For example, today system provides mechanism where you can actually have a room created, where you can actually have a 1 hour dedicated for coffee breaks or half an hour, whatever. So it's more inclusive. You're not excluding anyone. You can say that, and especially when you're a leader of the organization, you can create that ecosystem where people at least twice a day have a leisure meeting and probably have a coffee break, or probably have strategic meetings. All of the people, all the organization, especially everybody is now working remotely. So as a leader, it is your responsibility to create that ecosystem where between certain breaks, people get to know each other, and there is more inclusion. Now, inclusion also means decision makers. Today, what is happening is the leadership also is struggling to remain at the numero uno position. What is happening is if you are a leader, the expectations are very high, and when you are working remotely, then the people don't get to know you. The distances are very far, and you appear maybe once a day in front of them, and that is not going to create a situation where they start feeling that you are the leader. So over a period of time, more and more, if you're not in front of your team, people start feeling that, okay, this guy comes once in a while, give me some sermon, and then walks away. So the way to handle this, I mean, this is going to be happening invariably. Every day you can't be present as a leader. So invariably these situations will happen. So the best way to avoid such situation is that you want to let go your power. So far there are people who actually stick around to giving orders, but those orders, if you're doing it remotely, may not work very effectively, and you may start losing your manpower. So in order to ensure that the people are feeling inclusive, you must let go your decision making powers and let go those abilities to certain selected people. So those people, even though they're working remotely, they will actually start thinking that I am also included in the decision making process, and that is a very important item here. You must change your management style. You must ensure that the power is shared, especially when you're working in the remote environment and you're also working towards the future. So inclusive workplace is something which you must look at very seriously. Therefore, this is something which is an important item as we move forward in the future. What next? Leadership in future work. So I have already covered a little bit, but then what is leadership? I think we have to understand that leadership is if you are doing the same thing that your team is doing, that is not leadership. You have to delegate to your team so that you can do something else. You can do things which are designed for a leader. You can start doing strategic thinking, you can start doing strategic investments, and let go your business to be handled by your team, because that is what you have actually engaged them for, you have hired them for. So you have to decide a strategy that will be handled by some of your key team members, and then the key members will be important part of your ecosystem, and then you will have to do something else. Now, what is that something else you must do? For example, the key responsibility of a CEO would be to make sure that the branding happens. So you can actually spend some time in doing branding. You can be conducting some interviews. Either you get interviewed by somebody or you conduct interviews, especially when you're doing it remotely. So if you're not visible, then gradually your leadership quality will not be appreciated by your team or by your customers also. You have to be visible today, and you can carry forward the branding portfolio under your leadership as an advice. Because there was a time during the physical work environment, there used to be specialized people for branding, but what is happening today? Those specialized people will still be required for branding, but then if you're not bringing yourself in front, then the challenges are then your leadership will start eroding, because you're not doing anything. It will look like that you're not doing anything if you're not doing branding for your company. You are not doing collaborations, because either you do these activities by yourself, you start collaborating with other CEOs, or you start collaborating with other companies. So that is your responsibility. How do you basically look at the future? How do you make sure that the future is going to be more productive for your organization? So some of these activities will be falling onto your lap, and this is very, very important as we progress forward when you are hiring people, whether full time or on contract, what is that you bring to the table as a leader? That is very important. If you don't bring anything on the table, your employees will not that feel confident about your leadership quality. So therefore, you have to do your own activities independently, like a professional. And then when you hire people, it's basically those people are bringing their skill sets. So let them handle those activities. Otherwise, if you have to handle A to Z, then again you will not be, because it's like overlap. If, for example, if HR is hiring people, then you also start indulging yourself into those activities, then it's like an overlap. And people, HR, start feeling that, okay, I do all the legwork, but my boss basically have the final say. So then gradually the HR people will start losing interest, and they will say, okay, fine, if this guy has to do everything, why I am required? And then they will move on. And remember, this is a remote working location. It is very easy to move on. So ensure that you don't interfere in your employees' work environment, but you must have your own work cut out, which you don't want to let go. So in a sense, you are a CEO, but you are doing your own set of activities. You're not going to interfere in other people's activities. However, you can also build processes where you can hold your people accountable. In case there is a mistake, you can hold somebody accountable. However, you're not interfering in their work. So adapting to future work environment, these are certain things which I thought may be important. If you have any questions, please feel free to send it across, and I will try to respond as quickly as possible. And in my live streams, you can join with your live camera. You can debate with me, you can have discussion with me, or we can have multiple guests discussing. The process of joining is given below. You can follow those processes and join me live during my live streams. So friends, thanks for joining me live today. Thanks for watching me, and I look forward for your participation in future. Catch you soon, catch you soon again, and keep rocking, keep selling, and have a nice day.